One of the questions that I am sometimes asked is, do I believe that all family law matters can be handled through the collaborative process? My answer to that has changed since I was first trained in the collaborative process. When I was first trained, I would have said, no, not every case is suitable for the collaborative process. The more experience, the more training, the more I become a better collaborative professional, the more I see that it's not the issues that make a case not suitable for the collaborative process, but rather it's the mindset of the clients. If both clients are willing to come into a room to develop their own goals and to see where their goals match and where they don't, can they reach an agreement that's acceptable to both parties, then I think any case can be handled through the collaborative process. However, I would not do any case with just any team. I think that specific cases need specific team members. I think that if there is an issue of suspected addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or any other addiction, that my preferred mental health professional is someone who has experience as a licensed chemical and dependency counselor. I think that if domestic violence is an issue, I think that I need to make sure that the other attorney has handled domestic violence issues on both sides, whether it's representing the person who is committing the violence or the person upon whom the violence is being committed. I would be uncomfortable doing a collaborative case with someone who's represented only the violent person or the victim, because I think that we need to understand the dynamics of domestic violence from both sides and be able to effectively handle it in a collaborative case. I think that one of the toughest cases to handle in the collaborative process is one that involves the issue of geographical restriction. I have seen cases where one party is absolutely set that they need to move out of the state of Texas because they need to be able to take this new job opportunity or the transfer that's being offered to them, and the other party absolutely wants both parents to be living in the same town where the children are. And if one parent wants to move and the other parent doesn't and is not willing to, even though the family is husband and wife are divorcing, and if both parents are not willing to make a change so that they can continue to have parents living in the same city, then it's very difficult to reach a resolution on that matter. I think that case, that issue, is probably one that is most likely to lead to an impasse. I don't have the answer on how to break that impasse. I just know that I would explore that fully with my client and make sure that they realize that that is a possible impasse before we would agree to use the collaborative process. However, if you don't use the collaborative process, I would make sure that my client knows that the judge is going to make that decision for them. So their choice is, and if that's the really tough issue of the case, their choice is to figure out a solution themselves through the collaborative process, or to go let the judge tell them both the way it's going to be. I think it's very important that we as a profession recognize that our profession is highly stressful, and that we are conscious of ways to continue practicing that will reduce stress or at least manage stress for all of those that we work with or that are involved in the legal process. I think that one of the ways we can manage stress, and I'll use this as a very simple example, is if in a litigation case, if I have to set a hearing, to be courteous enough to call the other attorney and to take their calendar into consideration before I set the matter. It's going to cost our clients less if we can agree on a date rather than if I set it and then we have to incur time taking it off the docket and resetting it to a time that works for both attorneys, because the court's not going to move forward without both attorneys there. I think it's important that we recognize that when we are involved in the legal process, that we all have tasks that we need to accomplish, but I think that we need to stay professional and not take it personally and not make a personal attack on someone else involved in it. And that if we stay focused on what it is our client needs to achieve and how can we best achieve that without personal attacks, then I go home less stressed at night. And probably everyone goes home less stressed. Statistics have shown that the legal profession has a much higher rate of substance abuse and addiction than other professions. And I think it's important that we remember that we are professionals, that we have a family to go home to, and if we can leave the office less stressed, or at least with our stress managed, we're going to be more available to be present with our own family and our own friends, and to realize that there is a life that we live that, yes, it involves our role as a legal professional, but our role as a legal professional is not all-encompassing. I am sometimes asked what sets me apart from other attorneys, and one of my responses would be the way I work with my staff. It's very important to me that anyone working for me sees it as really working with me. Although, yes, I have the final say-so and I am the attorney, I want us to be seen as working together as a team, and I want my staff to feel that I value their input as well as their skills. I want my clients to feel that they have freedom to talk with my staff and that the staff cares about their legal matter and that it's not just the attorney in the office that cares. And I think the way to have staff that cares is to let them know that they are a valuable part of the way that I serve as clients. My goal for my clients, for clients that I work with, that my staff works with, is that when we are through with the legal process and all is done, and they are not going to be in my office and in the legal process anymore, that through the process they have grown and that they are leaving the process healthier mentally, physically, emotionally, and in all ways that matter to that client in a healthier way than they were when they first came to me as a client.